What was that, Eddie?
That was the fucking technology taking forever. All right, we're live now, man. Fuck it. Welcome to Keyboard
Hey.
Warriors. As usual, we have Mr. Stand and Bang, Aaron Robbins, and of course from Stand and Bang and Gem City Fighting, Mr. Fred Kirby. How you guys doing?
Fucking
Great.
great. So,
I was fucking waiting, son. I was
Sorry,
waiting.
I should have gotten you first and then you. That's fucking that's a shitty thing about those shows about doing this shit live. It's just I don't know, whatever. Anyway, UFC 185 went down on Saturday. A lot of crazy shit going down. Let's just run down the results really fucking fast because no one cares about the prelims. Except one thing I'll say about the prelims is they were pretty fucking good. I mean, the overall they were really good. There was no fucking decisions in the prelims. We didn't get any decisions till the fucking main card, and then four of those five fights were all decisions. Let's go with the prelims. Fuck it. Which fight did it stand out for you guys? How about you, Fred? Out of the prelims.
I don't know. You hit me quick. What happened on the prelims? Refresh my memory, Eddie. What were the knockouts?
Benoit
Jeff,
kicked Sergio Pettis in his ass.
let's talk about that one.
Okay.
Let's talk
There we
about
go.
that.
There we go. Yeah, Sergio Pettis and Benoit. Listen, as far as that fight goes, obviously we'll talk about Anthony Pettis a little later, but I think those fights were completely different. I do think that Sergio Pettis actually looked good in that fight until he got fucking slobber knocked and put out. So that was unfortunate, though. Okay, well, let's touch on this right quick while we're on the prelims. What about Homeboy kicking him in the ass afterwards? Me and Aaron have talked about this, but never actually on the record. I think a lot of people are going to get their panties in a big knot about it, but it was a kind of a fucked up thing to do. But listen, he was the big underdog. He had been getting his face kissed on by Sergio the whole fucking time. You know what I mean? He just landed a big punch. He's fucking excited as fuck. He just had a big come from behind victory. He was probably just like, motherfucker, that's right. And then, and immediately after he did it, he kind of had that moment where he was like, oh, fuck, I probably fucked up a little bit right there. He was apologetic. I think he's going to catch more shit than he should have for it, but it did look pretty bad right afterwards.
Yeah, I mean it was. And here's the thing, I gave him a pass immediately because I was like, I don't know, man. The fucking kick to the eyes, it was hilarious. I laughed. I had a pretty good laugh about it. I thought it was a joke. I think he was making fun of him. But I didn't think it was like it wasn't Paul Daly punching fucking Koshik right in the face. It was just a kick on the ass. But what'd you think about that, dude, Aaron?
All right, dude, bro.
Yeah,
I
fucking with my head now.
seriously, dude. Like, okay, I was watching the fights live, and I think sometimes this is when replay can kind of fuck you because he got done winning the fight, and he runs right over to Rufus's corner, and he's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." For some reason, I actually thought he was apologizing because he won. Like, I didn't, at the time, like, how many times have we seen somebody finish a fighter and then do some little wiggy shit like, okay, the referee stopped you, you had him in a rear naked choke, and how many times have we seen a fighter, like, angrily hoist the other guy off of him? Or, something like that, or they use him to stand up. So I actually didn't catch it until the replay, and then, of course, Rogan was like, such bad sportsmanship, and everybody in Texas was like, fuck you. I don't know, man. If that's what you remember from UFC 185, then you have got a pretty fucking pathetic life. Because at the end of the day, I already checked out their Twitter feeds. They already said good fight, Sergio, good fight, Benoit, whatever. I mean, they're not. It's not like Sergio got on the next day and was like, "Fuck you, you little prick, kick me in my ass." It's already squashed. I think as far as like assaults after the bell, Gadela was way worse, and people just let that shit drop. It's passionate, It was heat in the moment. And besides that, as far as strikes after the bell, I'm pretty sure that one is the funniest in UFC history because he just did like cunt on him. He was just like, I win, cunt punt, and so I don't know. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I was more impressed that he got his fucking face jacked all up for what was it, 2 full rounds?
Yeah. I think Sergio got knocked out at the end of the second. Near the end of the second, just gets caught real nasty.
And then, yeah, I mean, that'll show you, man, those little guys, I mean, what, 125ers, the right punch in the right place, and fucking old Sergio. I'll tell you what, man. I think Sergio, after his last performance at 135, didn't look very great, and then dropped down to 125 and lost his first fight there. I think that we'll be seeing him on Fight Pass for a while before he has some work to do now.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Sergio losing might have fucked with Anthony Pettis a little bit?
How could it not?
That's what I was saying. A lot of people on Twitter saying, "Oh, there's no way they allow that'll happen, or he'll allow that to happen when he has a title fight and his little brother just lost." I'm like, yeah, fucking right. That's his younger brother. He gives a shit. He cares a lot. That's gotta mess with him.
Maybe a
but
little bit.
You know what messed with him way more? Dos Anjos kicking the fuck out of him for 25 minutes.
Right. That's what I would say. Listen. Did Anthony Pettis fight on the card where Sergio lost to Alex Caceres? I want to say he did.
No, I think they've only fought on the same card twice.
Okay. Well, either way, I don't think it would have mattered all that much. It might have mattered a little bit, but I think Dos Anjos just got in that ass, which we'll get to in a bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, another fight that was pretty good in the prelim. Wow, sorry, my fucking microphone. What do you guys think of Cruikshank? I thought he gave up when he got on the ground, and Beneil took his back. It was kind of a weird fight. I mean, he missed weight by 2.5 pounds, and then in 2 hours he only burned a half a pound. And they came in 2 over. In Texas, they allow you to negotiate your fucking your whatever penalty, and he ended up doing 20%. They went straight to Beneil. So we'll start with Fred. Or actually, Fred's drinking. We'll start with Aaron. What do you think of that fight overall?
I thought it was great. I underestimated Dariush, and I won't do that again. That wasn't a fluke. That guy, he has got his stuff together. I didn't realize from his last performance, maybe he just couldn't shine in his last performance. But I mean, that was another case, man, where his striking was crisp. You could tell those body shots were hurting him. He was very, very fast. And quite frankly, I wouldn't say so much that Cruikshank gave up. I think he just gassed. I mean, by the end, he had taken quite a beating, and he gave up that rear naked choke for free. He wanted out of that fight. I think he was exhausted.
Yeah, Fred?
Dariush really surprised me with his striking, man. Sometimes that happens to you in a fight. I didn't know, but I assumed that Dariush would have a noted advantage on the ground because he's a great grappler and a decorated grappler and whatnot. And Cruikshank's, no fucking Damian Maia. So I thought that would happen. But then when I seen him kind of landing some good strikes on Cruikshank on the feet and kind of like having him tentative and keeping him backing up and shit, I was kind of like, oh, fuck. This is going to probably turn south pretty quick for Cruikshank because if he don't win the fight on the feet, he ain't got nothing for homeboy on the ground or in the grappling exchanges, and that was what it proved to be. And I think that probably kind of led to him giving up that choke. He probably thought, well, son of a bitch, I'm not really doing that great on the feet with this guy. Here, listen, the fight's going south when you're Darren Cruikshank and you're shooting a double on this guy on the cage. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I need to take you to the ground, where you're more than likely going to submit me because you're fucking me up on the feet, this is probably a fight I need to get towards the exit on pretty soon, man. And that's the way it felt.
Yeah, to the least amount of damage possible. What'd you guys think of that Elias Theodoro and Roger Narvaez and Narvaez breaking his freaking forearm or whatever it was in the first round? He had that first round. I thought he won the first round. The second round, he just couldn't use that damn arm, right?
Okay, I got something else that I want to talk about Fedoro and Narvaez, and you guys know where I'm going with this. What was up with Theodoro looking fat?
That was really weird because he just looked out of shape to me. I was like, as soon as he came in like that, I thought Narvaez was gonna work him, and he did work him for a while until he tried to block a freaking kick with a forearm.
Yeah.
But, Theodoro always looks kind of shitty in the first round if you think about it, except for against his Canadian buddy there when he won the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
In his debut, he looked like shit for the first round too, and then he came back. But my thing was he had them low slung trunks and kind of had like that Frank Mir gut going on. And I thought that was a little bit strange. And it brings me to the speculation that perhaps, and I think Ed, we've talked about this, Fred, I know you and I have talked about this. Sometimes the quote-unquote performance enhancers are to help fighters make weight. They're big-time fat cutters. And I wonder if we're going to start seeing guys looking a little bit softer or having a hard time getting to weight when they didn't before, now that they know that there's a much bigger chance of getting caught. I think maybe, I don't want to speculate on Obias Theodoro, but I do know that he looked like shit.
Yeah, no, I feel that too, and I don't know, man. It was when he came in looking fat, but I agree with you on the PEDs thing. Now the testing is going to be pretty freaking insane now for those guys. It's I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of guys move up in weight class. You know what I mean? And it's weird to me that, for example, Cejudo made weight. That surprised the fuck out of me. When Cejudo came in and made weight, I was shocked, legit shocked. I thought for sure he was going to miss that shit by like 3 pounds. But yeah, I wonder if either they found another PD they could use that's not detectable yet, or they're just kind of sucking it up and maybe losing some weight. But I mean, the test results haven't come out for any fighters yet from that card. So once they come out, I think maybe we'll find out more about it. But Fred, you have something on that?
Not much, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to do too much speculation on whether that dude was or wasn't, or why he looked a little pudgy in this fight. He does fucking have people riding his dick. He's undefeated. Maybe he's up in Canada banging broads and fucking drinking. What do they drink up there? PBR, whatever the fuck. Like, maybe he's up there living that life, Did I offend you, Aaron?
I guess Aaron give you that look like, motherfucker. Like,
don't you desecrate PBR, motherfucker?
You think they drink PBR in Canada?
What the fuck is that? Am I way off base with that?
We don't. Back when I used to drink, I wouldn't drink PBR in America.
Exactly.
That was beer pong beer for me, man. PBRs and shit like that.
You know what the funny thing is though? Like in Canada, PBR is an import.
Yeah, so it's like fancy.
Yeah, that's some funny shit, right? They're like, ooh, look at this, imported from America, Blatz.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know whether that dude was juicing or not, but I'll tell you one thing, man. Even though he got the finish and he did break Roger's arm, I don't know. For some reason, some fighters just never really leave you with a great impression. And for some reason, he's just that dude for me, man. We'll see. He's undefeated. I have no reason to not be impressed with him, yet I'm not really impressed with him.
He's really awkward.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's just he looked okay. I mean, listen, he got the finish, even looking pudgy and out of shape. So I suppose I should give him his dues. But we'll see. I want to see a little more from him against a bit of a higher ranked opponent that doesn't break his arm and where he's not looking overweight. We'll see what he looks like in his next fight.
For sure, man.
Can we just skip this judo fight?
Yeah, sure, we'll skip it. But let's talk. It was nothing impressive about that fight. It was just it was like kind of like okay. But
what was impressive was that he made weight.
That was impressive as fuck. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I thought for sure he was gonna miss it as we get the golf clap. But fucking, what do you guys think of Joseph Duffy taking out Jake Lindsay? I thought that guy looked pretty damn impressive.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And Fred and I discussed this. He had to, like, with all the shit surrounding him being the last guy that beat Conor McGregor. If he would have come in and pulled a Holly Holmes, people would have killed him. You know what I mean? Been like, yeah, who gives a fuck? But you go in there and you wreck your first opponent. They're kind of like neck and neck now. He comes into the UFC, shows that he's definitely legit. He moves really well. And that motherfucker must hit hard. Because how often do you see a dude go down from a left hook to the liver rather than a left kick to the liver? That was some nasty shit. So I'm really interested in the post-fight presser. Dana White does his like magnanimous. It's up to him whether or not he goes down to featherweight. Blah, man, bullshit. That is some bullshit. You know that was already in the works. Where he's like, yeah, we'll bring you over, but we want you to fucking ride that whole I'm the last guy that beat Conor McGregor. And if you're 10 pounds heavier, what fucking difference does that make?
Yeah, and the thing about that too is fucking Helwani asking asking Dana White the dumbass question in the post-fight presser. He's going, were you aware that Joseph Duffy's the last guy to fight, to beat Conor McGregor? And Dana gives him this look like, you son of a bitch. Of fucking course I'm aware. He's just fucking with him. And that's
Eddie. Ariel was trying to be funny.
I didn't laugh for shit. Anyone find that shit funny? That didn't work that well.
I said trying. I didn't say the motherfucker was funny.
That guy's terrible. But anyway, regardless of that, I mean, that's the fucking plan. That's the reason he signed him, because he beat Conor McGregor. So of course you're right. 145 is the fucking plan for that guy. But what do you think about Duffy on Lindsay, Fred?
Yeah,
Wait,
I mean that important.
Fred, hold on. I got an idea. We want more viewers for the show, right?
Right.
And YouTube is a huge search engine, and Eddie shits on Ariel Helwani every single show. I think we should change this show to fuck Ariel Helwani.
I can't
because
say that motherfucker.
That way, every time somebody searches Ariel Helwani on YouTube, your show will come up.
Fuck Ariel Helwani on Crossroads MMA.
Clever idea.
You know what? That would be fucking hilarious. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna try it out. Maybe with a segment. Yeah, a special show. Yeah, a special show Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoons. Fuck Ariel Helwani. This week, here's why this week he sucks asshole. And it's gonna go up on just reasons why Ariel Helwani sucks donkey dick.
Point out all of his flaws. Now that was an impressive performance from Dude though, man, and the fact that he is the last guy that beat Conor is going to be something they're going to ride up for sure, man. I think that, like Aaron said, though, he needed to do that to keep the steam going and to keep the hype that they can build around him going. And who knows, man, if that dude, knocks out a couple more people and fucking Conor happens to win the belt, that could end up being a fucking major type fight. Maybe the dude, look, people can talk all the horse shit they want to about Conor, but the dude has proven himself to be a pretty fucking good fighter at the very least. And this dude kicked Conor's ass. Might have been a few years back, but he did do it. And he just beat the shit out of somebody in the UFC. So maybe he's actually pretty fucking good too. So all things considered, maybe, there's a lot of hype around Conor and now this dude because he beat Conor. But quite frankly, maybe the hype on both of these cats is justified.
I would think so. And that would be a huge fight if Joseph Duffy could put on a win streak, a pretty impressive win streak, get to the title fight. Maybe that's how you sell out a fucking stadium in Ireland.
You think?
But I mean, you should.
Yeah.
While we're talking about Conor McGregor, I mean, look, to beat Dennis Siver to get a title fight was pretty fucking lame to me. I didn't think he deserved to take on Aldo after that fight. But now that we have that fight, what are the chances that Conor McGregor can actually beat Jose Aldo?
Oh man. Okay. Here's my thing. I am gonna go with Conor McGregor, so he'll lose, because I don't want him to win. But all right, all of the shit surrounding Conor, let's take that away, and let's say that he wasn't a gigantic douchebag. Just the way he moves, the way he stays long, how he strings shit together. He is an altogether different striker. And I'll tell you what, that comes from him being dedicated to his craft. Because if you look at the other guys out of his gym, not a one of them looks like that. So that's all Conor. So I don't know. I think the guy hits really, really hard for 145. And I think that we're going to have to see a really good Jose Aldo. I don't think that it's going to be like the 1 round, 2 round things. I think it'll end up being a close split decision.
That would be that. That would make for a pretty good fight. And overall, I mean, Jose Aldo with the freaking kicks and everything is what makes me think about it twice. So Jose Aldo's a big guy for 145 already. So, and as is Conor McGregor. Conor makes no buts about it. He has a hard weight cut every time he fights. But Fred, what do you think about this matchup?
Well, y'all already know I'm a big Conor McGregor fan, man. I love the fucking flair that he brings to the sport. I mean, who really gave a fuck about featherweight before Conor? I mean, Jose Aldo's an animal, but he's fucking boring, Jack. Quite frankly, he just couldn't get the mojo going. For as fucking devastating as he is, and as many wins as he's got in a row, you'd think he'd be fucking king shit in Brazil. But that being said, man, breaking this fight down stylistically, I I don't love Conor's chances. I hope he can do something. And here's the reason why. Conor McGregor has a very fluid karate Machida-esque type fighting style, right? Now, the problem with those fighting styles that we're starting to notice recently, who was Machida's kryptonite? Shogun.
Yeah, Shogun, yeah.
What happened on this card with a very dynamic striker in Anthony Pettis? RDA. Now, the thing that all these cats have in common with Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor is it seems like when these fluid karate type guys get matched up with a fucking full-on old-school Muay Thai, come straight at you until I eventually clip you with something or beat your fucking legs in, it kind of seems like that's their fucking weakness. If Conor can't hurt Jose bad on the feet early, I think that constant pressure and leg kicks and just relentless force might wear Conor down. I fucking hope it don't. I hope he tap dances around, thumps all over Jose, and fucking knocks him out in the first or second round and then shoots that mouth off and keeps this fucking thing rolling. But I kind of do think it's a bad stylistic matchup for him. Fuck it. I'm going with Conor's second round knockout. But I wouldn't bet nothing on that, Jack.
You know, and that's a point I never thought about. The whole karate to Muay Thai thing. That's a nice good point right there. And we have a couple tweets in real quick. Davey Boy, as usual, we all know Davey Boy. That dude's funny as shit. He says he agrees with me. He says that's not nice to diss Ariel Helwani. He's my favorite follower on Twitter, but he blocked me. Fuck Ariel Helwani is what he said. So fuck yeah, Davey.
Shout out to Davey.
Yeah, and then Andrew Reed out of the UK is saying McGregor versus Duffy in Dublin would make GSP in Canada look like a high school prom. They're mental over there.
Yeah.
Good point too.
Yeah, that would. I mean, there's nothing more loyal. You know, I've talked with a couple of the Irish guys, a couple of the Scottish guys. If nothing else, man, they've got fan loyalty like nobody else. So yeah, most definitely, that would be one for the ages.
Hey man, when they fucking make up for 10 to 15 to 20% of ticket sales in Vegas, those fuckers are loyal. They will fly from Ireland and fucking watch their favorite guys. So, yeah, they're definitely kind of crazy. And I think they probably beat the Brazilians as far as some of the best fight fans out there. Because we know the fight fans we have here, man. As soon as they start chanting USA, USA, that kind of tells you what it is here anyway. But all right, let's talk about one more fight here in the prelims. Ross Pearson versus Sam Stout. What do you guys think about that? That shit was to me that was a fun fight. And Fred's freaking out. Go ahead, dude.
Only fight I got right. Let me say this. I'm going to eat shit for the rest of the show because I could not have been more wrong on any of these fucking fights. But this one I fucking called, and I'm going to fucking gloat, goddammit, because it's my last chance for the show. Sam Stout was too old. I knew this shit was going to happen. I knew they were going to get into a firefight, and this is exactly kind of what I've seen happening. Ross Pearson has inconsistencies in his performance, but all in all, he's still a relatively young guy that fucking punches like a Mack truck, and Sam Stout had signed out. Thank you for that fucking one run being correct.
Yeah, you know what it is with Stout, and it's really unfortunate because the dude's only 30 years old, but he's been in a lot of wars. You know, he gets unfocused really fast. You know, he starts off with a great game plan, and he looked good against Pearson in that first round. He was doing his thing. And then just like with Spencer Fisher back in the day and a lot of the fights that he's dropped, come second or third round, he what the fuck was that big old Cheshire Cat grin you just had on, Eddie? I just caught that. The fuck you all smiley about?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I don't remember smiling. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He looked on my screen and it was like fucking frozen. Gang-ow.
I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to watch the fucking video later. No,
Sam Stout loses focus, and then he loses consciousness. So, Fred, hats off to you, my friend.
And you know what's funny about Fred? Davey says karate-esque karate style. Kirby, that was such a Mike Goldberg statement.
Oh, yeah, he's fucking wearing off on me.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then, of course, Mr. Nick X Micro, or as we call him, Nick B. Drankin, sending my love to the Warriors. Wish I could be on with you guys tonight. So I guess he wishes he was on with us tonight, but he probably just get more shit about Nick B. Drinking. Anyway. So, all right. Skipping the Cejudo fight to the request of Mr. Aaron Robbins here. Alistair Overeem beating Roy Nelson. Not the most entertaining fight coming out of two heavyweights. If anything, it's Alistair Overeem employing the Jackson's MMA / John Jones fucking game plan with a fucking knee kick that bothers the hell out of me. A lot of people want that thing to be illegal. I mean, I think you should just find a way to stop it, but I hate that kick anyway. Aaron, what'd you think of that fight?
Well, we all know my opinion of Alistair Overeem, but at the end of the day, he fought a smart fight. You got a slow, fat guy with one weapon, and he never let the slow, fat guy employ the weapon. The only thing I didn't appreciate about the performance is once your fighter gets you cornered, find a better way to escape than just turn your back and run.
Yeah.
Because there's only one guy that shit flies with in the heavyweight division, and it's Roy Nelson, because old boy is too full of fucking KFC gravy to get his legs running fast enough to catch him. Any other heavyweight, you turn your back on them and run, you only get away with that maybe once in the fight, and the next time you catch a shin to the side of your fucking head, I guarantee you that. So, I mean, smart fight on Alistair Overeem's part. And, you know, as far as Roy Nelson goes, I don't really get all that excited to see him fight anymore at all. You guys remember when he used to be really fat? Like, he was big fat? And then, Joe was talking about him starting to look more athletic, and it looked like he was going to trim down. I don't understand why old boy doesn't drop to 205, because if you've got that much power and you trim yourself down, he might be, he probably ain't going to be John Jones, but, he might be super entertaining at 205, and the guy, quite honestly, the guy carries quite a bit of extra tissue. Maybe we could even see him at middleweight with that power, and then see like an athletic, trimmed-down fighter, because he is a legit black belt in Kung Fu and a legit black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He just forgot all that shit when he realized that if he touches anybody on their chin, they go to sleep,
And that's what I said, too, before the fucking fight went down. I was like, look, if Roy Nelson's going to beat Alistair Overeem, I think he should do it with the jiu-jitsu. Take him down and get him in a submission. But Roy Nelson also has that mean-ass overhand right that's scary as shit, and he falls in love with it, not to mention Alistair Overeem having less than even – not even glass. It's like sand turning into glass chin. And you saw him cover up pretty good. Every time that Roy got Overeem in a cornered him a little bit, Overeem would just put his hands up, cover his chin, and take the body shots. He was okay with that. But he also had those flying knees, which I thought was gonna at some point catch Roy Nelson. But that dude was, and I kept saying it during the fight on Twitter. I was like, this motherfucker's a zombie. And Dana White calls him a zombie in the post-fight presser. That dude just kept fucking walking forward after eating just knee after knee after knee from one of the guys that historically has some of the best knees we've ever seen in MMA. So yeah, that was pretty crazy to me. Fred, what do you think of the fight?
Yeah, you know what, man? I hope they test Alistair after this fight. He looked real good in this fight for all of me. He was fucking dancing around. He looked fast. He didn't look lethargic as he always does. He didn't look lumbering. Now, maybe that was just because he was in there dancing with fucking Roy Nelson, who is the epitome of lumbering, but I don't know, man. I got to say I was a little surprised, man. I thought that, I don't know. I guess it feels like we've seen the best of what Alistair Overeem has to offer. Like, I don't feel like we've seen that Alistair Overeem since he got to the UFC, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had done that shit way back when against Ben Rothwell, then maybe I had picked him going into this fight. But when Ben Rothwell fucks you up like he did, I would think
Time out. Hold that thought. Nick B. Drankin joins us from the dark pits of fucking Corpus Christi, Texas. What's up, dude?
What's going on, guys? Sorry I'm late. I just got out of work.
All right. What beer you have tonight?
Same old shit, Ziegenbach. All
right.
Keep it original.
All right. Sorry about that, Fred. So you were saying?
You're good. Yeah, nah, man. Listen, I thought that fucking eventually Roy would catch him, man. I think that Alistair looked better than he's looked since he got to the fucking UFC. That shit was surprising. He did his thing. Alistair looked kind of like how he looked back when he was in K1. And yeah, you're being a pussy about the oblique kick, man. This ain't fucking ballerina school. Fuck that. It's a cage fight. You get kicked in your knee, don't let your fucking knees get kicked. Back up a little bit. I thought Alistair looked fucking dynamite, dude. I'm not a big Alistair fan either, but he fucking looked great, and Roy looked like a fighter who has been figured out.
Yeah, I mean, let's put that in there. Alistair Overeem looked great against a slow, fat guy.
True.
I mean, let's be fucking realistic. Let's not give him too much fucking credit, because then in the post-fight presser, he's like, "I'm coming for the title," and I heard Cain Velasquez laugh in Mexico.
True.
Holy fuck, Eddie died.
Yeah, Eddie just dipped out.
Oh, nope, there he is.
The ghost machine.
He died. It's okay.
Anyway, sorry about that.
What'd you think, Nick? What was your thoughts on the big country Overeem debacle?
I really, honestly, I really enjoyed that fight. That had to be one of the most entertaining fights on the main card in general. I really enjoyed it. The oblique kick, everyone's giving shit for that. Well, he's training with Jackson. He's training with John Jones. He's going to start throwing a little bit more, so you got to give him that. And then what did we see from Roy Nelson? We saw him trying to hit him with that overhand right, and he caught him a couple times. But I was saying in our Crossbones chat, saying that did Roy Nelson start eating knees for breakfast, because he got hit with 5 to 7 flying knees in his fucking chin. That was ridiculous, and I was like, God, will this guy just die already? But no, he kept it in there. But no, I really enjoyed the fight. I really liked seeing Overeem being different. He wasn't the guy that was just rushing him and going for kicks and everything like that. He actually put up a good fight, and I really enjoyed it. It had to be one of his best performances, but like Aaron said, against a fat guy.
Hey, Nick, did you say that this was one of the most entertaining fights on the card for you?
One of. We haven't gotten to the other ones.
I was going to say, Ed, could you please kick him off the show?
One of.
We got it on Twitter. Andrew Reed saying at some point he must have caught Overeem to break his hand. That's true. Roy Nelson broke his hand in that fight. And I mean, I don't know if that's probably props to Overeem for being able to take that kind of punch. But to break your fucking hand, I mean, Roy Nelson broke it, and he had to go to a couple doctors and shit, and he put up pictures and whatnot. But, what's that?
No.
Oh, I think that's something. So I guess, I don't know. That's one of those fights where I was like, well, that happened. Okay. So moving on to Johnny Hendricks and Matt Brown. A lot of people kind of upset with Johnny Hendricks, including Dana White and Mr. Aaron Robbins, maybe. He employed the GSP strategy. One of the things I said about it, because people kept asking me about it on Twitter, I said, look, he tried to knock Matt Brown out. Matt Brown's not easy to knock out. And then he figured, fuck it, I'm just going to outpoint him and take him down a bunch of times. And I mean, look, a lot of people are hating on him for the GSP style thing, but Aaron, clearly you have an opinion about that.
Yeah, I've talked with you about it. I think I've talked with all you guys. I'm not one of those guys that has a problem with multiple takedowns, and we'll talk about that on the main event. I've got no problem with multiple takedowns. I have a problem with multiple takedowns with nothing happening, and we're seeing this too much from Hendricks already, where he'll go to side control and then nothing. And then in the post-fight presser, he was like, yeah, I really like this fight because I got to use my jiu-jitsu. What the fuck fight was I watching? Because I didn't see no jiu-jitsu. That was turtle fucking, son. I mean, that was straight up old school lay and pray turtle fucking right there. So, yeah, it's hard to knock Matt Brown out, and it's just disappointing because there was so much potential in that fight. But at the end of the day, Johnny Hendricks did what he had to do to win. And like Joe Rogan said, 10 years ago, if a guy can hold you down for 5 minutes, tough balls.
Pretty much, man. Fred, what did you think of that fight?
Well, obviously, I wasn't thrilled about this fight. This was another one on my long list of losing streaks for 185. But you know what? Listen, man, I think that my issue with fucking Johnny Hendricks is he's kind of a lot like Roy Nelson, except with better wrestling. Like, he kind of looks for that big right hand, and if he doesn't start you with that right hand, his offensive game is pretty fucking limited. And another thing, let me get this out before I fucking forget about it. I'm getting real fucking sick and tired of people going, well, it's really hard to finish Matt Brown. Eric Silva almost did it in 67 seconds. You know how you finish Matt Brown? Punch him hard as fucking his liver over and over again. Johnny Hendricks punches hard. He doesn't have to punch him in the head. There's a thing of strategy, you know. He could have fucking started giving him belly shots on the cage. Everybody can be finished, man. He just didn't go about it right. And he fought a safe fight, and it was relatively boring. It wasn't a boring fight. It was just one of those fights where it could have been fantastic. And when you got a cat like Matt Brown who is willing to engage you in fun fucking battle, and then you got Johnny Hendricks just, you know, making the fight, sucking the air out of it with his safeness, it was kind of fucking not all that fun to watch. I would have liked for a couple more moments of Johnny Hendricks, you know, throwing his fucks to the wind and actually banging it out with Matt Brown a little bit, and then taking down and win the fight. But fuck, give us a little something there where you guys get in the middle of the cage and fucking, you know, try to hurt each other for a minute, man. He fought safe and he won. And, you know, like Aaron said, if you can't fucking keep the guy off of you, you lose the fight. But I don't gotta like it. Fuck.
You didn't like it. Dana White certainly didn't like it. And I saw it as a strategy to keep his title shot. Because he's supposed to fight Robbie Lawler, but Robbie didn't want to fight till July or whenever it is. And Hendricks wanted to stay active, as everyone says. So took the fight and laid and prayed. And I mean, I don't know if they could take away his title shot because he was boring, but as far as we know, he still has that title shot with the winner.
Edro, you watched the post fight, right? The presser?
Yeah.
Well, remember, Hendricks right away was like, no, I'm going to wait for the title shot. You remember what Uncle Dana said about that? There's been plenty of guys who said they want to wait for the title shot, and then they end up waiting 2 years. And you saw Johnny Hendricks go, maybe I'm not going to fucking get the title shot or wait. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was that moment of realization on his face, like, Uncle Dana was really unimpressed with me, and he just kind of like was like through the grapevine, listen, fuckboy, you don't really get to pick and choose if you're going to win. You might be waiting until the second coming of Jesus fucking Christ if you want to wait for the second chance, you know? So, just saying, get in the fucking cage and entertain some people, that's all.
See, and that's the thing. This was supposed to be Johnny Hendricks' fight coming in shape finally and making weight the day before weigh-ins. This was supposed to be his show to show that he wanted that title shot, and I saw George St. Pierre out there. I saw a guy grabbing him, holding against the cage, and playing it safe. And yes, it's Matt Brown, but it was supposed to be his time to shine, and he didn't actually pull the trigger on it. So, like Aaron said, I think Dana's like, no, I wasn't impressed. You're not going to get a title shot until I tell you get a title shot. So keep fighting and keep being impressive. Like, try to be impressive. That was not an impressive performance. This was the fight that I was super excited for, except for the Showtime fight. I was ready to see Hendricks come out and say, all right, I want my title back, and I didn't get to see that. I saw Johnny Hendricks play it safe. I was not impressed with the fight at all.
Yeah, and Tommy Tuchel actually did it because watching Tommy Tuchel's shit, he had it was GSP with a beard pretending to be Johnny Hendricks, which I thought was a pretty genius character. I thought it was pretty good. And Tommy fucks up a lot, but that one made me laugh pretty good. So, props for that one. All right, moving on to the co-main event: Carlos Esparza against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. That was, and Fred and I were talking about it before the show started. It was one of those fights where, you know, you kind of felt bad for one of the chicks, and Carlos Esparza did not look like she even wanted to be in there. So, Fred, what did you think of that one?
Yeah, man, just like you just said, man, like I told you before we went on the show, man, it's funny. Like, I'm a massive fan of cage fighting, and I love watching the best fighters in the world compete against one another. I think it's fucking awesome, and finding out who the baddest man on the planet is a really prestigious thing, and it's really cool and fun for me, man. But on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, nothing annoys me more than bullying, or, you know, somebody that is scared getting beat up on, or somebody that doesn't want to fight having to fight or something. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Carla Esparza is a sissy or nothing, or that she was scared. But there was moments in the second round, man, where she just looked like a 7th grade kid that didn't want to be in a fight that she had to fight. You know, I mean, she looked like she knew it was coming. When she realized that she was not going to get the takedown, and even if she did land one, she was not going to be able to hold her there, and she knew that her striking advantage or her striking disadvantage was very great. It just looked like she looked literally fucking shook, man. Like it was one of those weird things. You don't really see that look on a champion's face very often where they're like, oh my God, I'm fucked, ain't I? And then, shortly thereafter, she's crumbling on the cage, man. It was fucking... I knew Jiu-Jitsu was a good striker, but I did not know that she was going to be such a great defensive wrestler and just pound homegirl out like that. Super impressive stuff from fucking Johanna.
Yeah, for sure. Aaron?
Yeah, absolutely. Fred covered a lot of good points. You don't often see that look on a champion's face, but we saw it twice at 185, in my opinion, on a champion's face. No, and we have all talked about this. Johanna Jędrzejczyk didn't come out of nowhere, and it's the same thing with Anderson Silva. Didn't you guys find it just a little weird that she beat Gadela and then skipped 15 other chicks that were on a TV show to get the title? Make no bones about it. Sean Shelby and Joe Silva knew exactly what the fuck was going to happen in that fight. No joke. They knew exactly. And Fred brings up another good point. Who the fuck knew about that defensive wrestling? Because that wasn't no accident. If you guys watch her, man, her center of gravity, the way that she steps over, how she had her palms on the nape of her neck, and the control that she had over Carla Esparza, who's supposed to be a top-level wrestler. She might be a multiple-time world champ in Muay Thai, but I'm guessing there ain't too many chicks that can take her up off her feet, except for Gadela. I can't wrap my mind around that. So it's either that Gadela's awesome or Carla Esparza was overrated.
Gadela just had better striking. Sorry to cut you off here. I just think MMA, the striking matters. Esparza's striking was so atrocious that Johanna did not have to worry about that whatsoever, So she could just focus solely on that defensive wrestling because she offered nothing on the feet.
No, and she hits real hard. Like, the funny thing is, you take a look at Jędrzejczyk, she's skinny, but it's because she's so tall for strawweight. You know what I mean? So the way that she held Carla Esparza off, the way that she broke her will in the first round, I'm super impressed. And I'm really hard-pressed to find anybody in that strawweight division that I would put money on against Johanna in her title defenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick?
Yeah, no, I have to agree with Aaron. I don't see anyone in this strawweight fighting Jędrzejczyk and actually beating her. She stuffed 16 of 17 of Carla's takedowns. What the hell? Me and my buddy were sitting there watching this. I'm like, hey, that girl Carla, she has some crazy-ass takedowns. She can take down somebody. And he's like, you're fucking drunk. Go to hell. I was totally shocked at what Jędrzejczyk did, and I'm very impressed with her performance. I can't wait to see her fight again. I think no one in the strawweight can touch her. She's going to be champion for a long time unless Carla can get her head out of her ass and learn some striking and actually learn how to and get some decent takedowns on her. But I don't even see Carla even getting another title shot anytime soon. I think Jędrzejczyk's going to run this division for a long time.
Yeah, and the least impressive or the least surprising statement you just made was Nick, you're drunk, go to hell. That's kind of fucking obvious. We all know Nick be drinking was in full effect on Saturday.
I was not in full effect on Saturday.
Hey, by the way,
no, during the fights, I do not drink that much. I need to stay focused on the fights. After the fights is when I get fucked up.
Okay. Well, speaking of which, you're not working tomorrow. Are you doing Patty's Day drinking shit like Justin Huffman?
No, I am not. We went over a friend's house last night, so no, not tonight.
That's kind of weird. With my day off, I'd probably be drinking a little bit right now, but I don't get the day off tomorrow. So, all right. So, yeah, I mean, Carla, when she was walking in, they were making a point about the fact that she had no emotion on her face, but her face was like stone cold, but it wasn't like confident. It was one of those worried faces, in my opinion. So, she definitely knew that she was at a disadvantage in the striking department, for sure.
You know what? Another thing that I want to interject is all the backhanded comments of these people who lose. Like, I wasn't feeling right, and it's been such a long year, and I wish I could have taken some time off, and I wasn't emotionally set, and my pussy hurts, and I broke my foot just yesterday, and I just recovered from Ebola. Not to take anything away from the woman that just fucking wrecked my face. Come on. How about this? How about a little bit of sportsmanship both ways? Just be like, and Carla, were you ready for this fight? Nope. No. She whipped my ass, man. Don't make all these fucking backhanded bullshit. Be like, I mean this in the nicest way, Nick, but you're an alcoholic. You can't have it both ways. Either I'm fucking being real, or you know what I mean. That backhanded passive aggressive shit, man. I can't fucking stand that shit. And we'll talk about it in the next fight with the I couldn't see out of my right eye. Yeah, because a fucking huge Brazilian just mashed his left hand into it.
And let's talk about that fight. Let's get to the title fight. Rafael dos Anjos pretty much shocking the shit out of everybody, and not only beating Anthony Pettis, but beating the fuck out of him for 5 rounds. And it was an impressive performance. But again, just like Aaron was saying, the excuses coming out of Pettis, I couldn't see out of my right eye, whatever the fuck. It was not. To me, it was not a Pettis performance. I didn't see any athleticism come out of him at all. We always see Pettis try to,
Bullshit. Watch the first 2 minutes of the first round.
He throws one flying knee.
And then try to say that again. Pettis was fast. Pettis was athletic. Pettis got shut down, man. He tried a couple of head kicks. They landed on the glove. They landed on the wrist. Dos Anjos did exactly what he was supposed to do, and then there was a series of 3 body kicks to the liver. Whop, 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 spaced about 20 seconds apart, and then he cracked him with that straight left in the eye. Pettis was like, holy fuck, that hurt. And there you go. That's the story of guys that, I mean, really, if you think about Anthony Pettis, when's the last time he's been hurt or gotten in trouble?
I'm not going to count Gilbert Melendez.
Well, I would count that Gilbert Melendez fight because he got caught a couple good times. He did. He did get caught a couple good times, but he recovered. Dos Anjos, different story.
Yeah, see, I think a lot of it, and I'll say this time and time again about guys. I don't know if they believe their own hype, but you saw it with John Jones and Gus. You saw it with Pettis and Dos Anjos. You see it in these guys. Brock Lesnar, another good example. The first time a guy who's never really been hurt, not like in trouble, but hurt, when they're like, holy fuck, I've never been hit that hard before. Think of if they're normal people, man. If somebody hit me in the face, and I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, was that just a pallet of blocks that hit me in the face? Yeah, man, that little bit of fear. And then all of a sudden your game plan ain't worth a shit because you don't want to get hit again. So I think that was the story of it, man. Fucking Dos Anjos put it on him. He did it better than anybody else did, and he was able to maintain his cardio, and he was able to maintain that aggressiveness throughout the entire fight and never let Pettis get that quote-unquote Showtime moment. Because it's no surprise that his name is Showtime, because normally he's more or less performing a regular fight, and he pulls off a quick head kick, or he jumps off the cage, or something like that. But I mean, everybody's got to remember, for all you people who keep posting the Showtime kick on Facebook, that fight went to decision.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't knock Benson Henderson out with that kick. He barely grazed Benson on the face with his toesies. And then that fight went on until the bitter end. So for all you assholes who keep recirculating that bullshit, make sure that you also put on the fact that it was a fucking long, boring-ass fight that went to decision.
All right. Yeah. That very good point. Fred, what'd you think of the title fight, man, the main event?
I couldn't have been more surprised, to be honest with you, man. I don't know if it's... Yeah, whatever, fuck it. I did buy into the hype, man. I thought Anthony Pettis was that fucking good, man. I thought he was a fucking great dynamic striker that had really good slick jiu-jitsu. I think we all knew that he kind of had a little bit of a flaw in his defensive wrestling. Clay Guida's funny ass showed that. So he had a couple things pop up like that, but I just still thought that he had gotten over that. I thought that fucking he had figured his game out a lot. And I just really... Real talk, I underestimated RDA, man. I really underestimated that cat. For some stupid, goofy reason, I just kept seeing him get starched by Jeremy Stevens. I can't get it out of my head. I don't know if y'all remember that fight, but when he got fucking face kicked and he's got that goofy look, it's like Mark Coleman getting starched way back in the day. I just couldn't get over it, man. And then he had the loss to Khabib, and I don't know. For some reason, RDA. I don't know. RDA reminds me a lot, and it's ironic because they're both over there with Rafael Cordero, of Fabricio Verdun, man. Of this guy that just kind of, you're like, oh, he's cute. That was a good win, but he's not going to actually be the champion. I mean, come on, right? He's not really going to win the championship. I'll be a fucking son of a bitch if he didn't come in and fucking win the championship very fucking impressively, man. I don't know. I think it does have a lot to do with styles make fights, man. I think that the constant pressure fucks with a guy like Anthony Pettis or Lyoto Machida. Those dudes need time and space to set up their strikes, and when you got a Brazilian berserker that doesn't give you that and isn't trying to play snuggle kissy like Johnny Hendricks and is actually trying to fuck you up, it doesn't bode well for the guy who needs time and space, man. And it was a bad stylistic matchup for Anthony Pettis, clearly.
Okay, I got to make a couple points off of Fred. First off, the Brazilian berserker. Nobody's using that?
This fucking throwing out nicknames.
Are you shitting me? That's the best fucking nickname in MMA history. No shit. The Brazilian berserker. I would fucking be scared just fighting that fucker no matter what he looked like. Okay, and then the other thing is, like, you're right, man. With RDA, like, okay, everybody here, real quick. Anthony Perosh. What do you remember about him? Real quick, at the top of your head. Nick, Anthony Perosh.
Do not recall anything right now.
You got to stop drinking. Eddie Law, Anthony Perosh.
Shit, dude, you caught me on the spot here.
The knockout, right?
Yeah, who was it?
Motherfuckers even watch this sport?
I forgot his name, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Ryan Jimmo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The knockout. The knockout.
I'm looking at that GIF up
When
real
you
quick.
pulled that fucking face on the fucking cage, that's what, every time I see Anthony Perosh, I can't ever take him seriously because I see him getting fucking butt slammed by Ryan Jimmo in 4 seconds and then pulling that fucking stiff body weird ass face. And so it's the same thing when Jeremy, I forgot about that RDA moment, to tell you the truth. But when Jeremy Stevens starched him, man, yeah, he pulled that fucking face, and yeah, I guess those kind of things do kind of, for some people, become indelible. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on reservation on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good, but I don't know. With RDA coming in like that, and there was talk after the fight that, actually, you know what? No, real quick, because I forgot to ask Nick. Nick, what did you think of the fight?
I was not completely shocked. In my picks, I had Anthony Pettis because I thought he was just the more dominant champion. I thought if it got into later rounds that he can tire RDA out and get a submission win or get a TKO win. But I was completely shocked at how RDA just came in, rushed him, and beat the shit out of him. Okay, Eddie.
Listen to him. You like that one, huh, Nick?
That was a good one. No, because like I see Eddie, and then it goes completely to a knockout phase.
Roach knockout.
Hiroshi.
Shit.
Oh shit! Put that up on the screen, Ed.
Whatever, I'm working on it, but this fucking real whack. Anyway, oh, there it is. Hold up. Fuck, stupid. All right. Fuck the internet. This thing's not working well. Anyway, but you saw the face.
If anybody is listening to the show and you haven't seen that picture, definitely Google.
That's the face.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's the good one.
Anyway, so yeah.
No,
Yeah.
completely surprised, and was I the only one? I know, but Eddie, besides Eddie, was I the only one that was thinking what judge is going to give this to Anthony Pettis? What judge is going to give a round to Anthony Pettis? Because I was waiting for it. I was waiting for a judge to say, no, I think Anthony won round 1, round 2. No, fuck no. He got his ass whooped the whole damn fight, and I was very impressed with RDA. Did I think he would be the champion? No. Did I think Jędrzejczyk would be the champion? Hell no. I didn't think we would have 2 new champions this weekend, but we did, and it was amazing. And just, I don't know. What's next for Anthony Pettis? Is he gonna get the winner, a Cowboy or someone, to get a title shot? No, I don't know. It's weird for him. He was supposed to win this fight and he didn't win the fight.
Yeah, that you know what that brings up a great question, Nick. Is the lightweight division is such a division of killers. You know what I mean? We've got Cowboy and Khabib and RDA and arguably Pettis, and I mean right down the list. I mean the top 10 are killers.
Yeah.
And you know, guys, I'm not a huge fan of the immediate rematch, so I don't know. I think this might be a case where I'm sure that Pettis will get another shot if he puts together a couple of wins. But I think it would be smart for him to fight outside of a title fight for a couple of shots before he tries again.
Yeah. I don't know. Does anyone, just me, but I want to kind of see him fight Cowboy again. I think that Cowboy could have gave him a good fight. He got caught with a good body shot, but I think I would love to see that fight again. I think Cowboy could put a good fight up against Anthony Pettis.
Nate Diaz
against Anthony Pettis.
And
Yes.
Nate Diaz? Nate Diaz
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
he's not even ranked anymore, is he? No.
Who gives a fuck? It'll be a fun fight, and RDA just busted both their asses.
True. What about Eddie Alvarez?
Isn't he fighting in Mexico?
Yeah,
right.
but like after. I don't know. I'm looking at the top rankings right now. No, see, I really want to see him fight Cowboy again. I think that'd be just a good fight. I'm
But
liking how
Cowboy
is.
Cowboy's gonna have to get past Khabib Nurmagomedov first because they're fighting. And so,
I know. I think he can. I think he can beat Habib. If
Ah!
he just doesn't get taken down. I think he can do it. I think that Cowboy's the guy that can do it. I'm just saying. I'm saying it right now. I think he can.
I think the Cowboys.
the unmistakable laugh from the man from Dayton. Okay, what's fun?
I think the Cowboys got a better chance of winning the Super Bowl than Cowboy does at beating Nurmagomedov.
Hey, the Cowboys have 5 Super Bowls, right? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, in '76.
Oh shit, we lost Aaron.
Did we?
Oh, he'll get back.
He left. He's like, nah, fuck Nick. He's drunk.
Yeah.
On.
No, I don't know, dude. Honestly, I don't think RDA's going to keep that belt for long because I think fucking Habib's coming for it, man. Habib has a grappling game that motherfuckers are going to have to figure out. Like, if you can't stop, and like, I like Cerrone. He's fun to watch fight, but all bullshit aside, I don't think, unless Habib is not the same fighter he was before the injury, if he's still that guy, I don't think that Donald Cerrone will be able to keep him off of him for a second. I mean, unless he gets, unless he hurts Habib quickly, he will not be able to prevent that dude from taking him down over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. And that's the only chance I really give Cowboy is if Habib comes back and isn't even near what he used to be before with the takedowns and the ground and pound. So I agree.
Right.
I would love to see Cowboy pull off an upset. That'd be great. But Habib's on the fucking train, man, on his way to the fucking title shot. So that'll be a fight to look for. What the hell's going on?
Aaron's computer fucked up again too, so it's probably, I don't know, he'll probably be trying to get back on, but we'll see what happens with that.
I have to share this. He says, let's change the show's name to Fuck Ariel and Aaron's Computer Hour. Anyway, Davey Boy actually chimed in a while ago, and my bad, Dave, for not putting this earlier, but when we were talking about Carlos Esparza and Johan and all that, he said the first tweet he sent was, I would rather see JJ beat Esparza than see a tough 15 chick fighter. I mean, Angela Magana versus Carlos Esparza, no fucking way. And then he says JJ versus Jojo Calderwood for the title. Jojo Calderwood fighting in Poland. If she wins that fight, do you give her the title shot?
No.
No?
No.
What about you, Bud?
I mean, shit, that division is pretty thin. Who is Rose fighting next? I mean, you got to imagine it's either JoJo or Rose that they're going to try to line this fight up for, right?
I think they're trying to push it towards Tisha Torres. They've been hyping her up a lot. I think if Tisha wins her next fight, I think she's going to get a title shot.
You think? All right, so Tisha. Oh, here we go. He's back.
Hey, wait a second. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about, or if you were laughing at me when I left, because that's what it looked like, you pricks. But I got Davey Boy. Aaron, you're such a Joe Rogan hater.
Yes,
What?
That is absolutely not true.
Okay, explain that one real quick. Why would he say that?
I have no idea. I don't. I don't.
Alright.
I don't hate Joe Rogan.
I
I
think
think.
he's fucking trolling you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
was
you
gonna
get
say,
through
man. I think that he's one of the better parts of the sport. I've actually threatened to fucking stop watching MMA if he ever fucking quits. So fuck it. And here's another thing, smart ass Davy boy cocksucker. Karate-esque would be spelled K-A-R-A-T. Yes, E-S-K, like Eskimo. Karate-esque.
Oh shit!
So,
All
fuck you,
right.
you misinformed prick.
Oh, fuck, he's gonna get back on that one. But all right. Fuck it. All right. Well, we got about oh, actually, no. We were talking about challengers for Johanna because Davey actually brought up saying he wants to see JoJo Calderwood against Johanna Jędrzejczyk. What do you think of that, Aaron?
Oh man, you know what? I'm such a huge fan of JoJo, but she hasn't looked good since she's been in the UFC.
Tisha.
What?
Keisha Torres.
Tisha Torres is going to get the next title shot if she wins her fight. I'm saying it right now. They've been
Okay,
pushing
wait.
her way too
Do I,
much.
do I have something crazy in my fucking ear? Did you guys ask me about JoJo?
I said JoJo. Yeah, I said JoJo, but Nick brought up Tisha. He loves
All right.
Tisha.
Well, Nick,
Oh, no, I don't. I fucking hate Tisha. I hate her attitude, but I think that she'll get the title shot.
Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
no, I think that JoJo has that great Muay Thai style, but she hasn't been able to pull the trigger. She didn't look good in her performance. Here's the thing about Johanna. It's almost like the whole, and I don't know if it's like that whole Polish, like very stoic kind of thing, but it's kind of like the whole thing really hasn't affected her at all. Like I wouldn't exactly say she ran through Gadela, but she really kept her composure well in her UFC debut. And then same thing, like going down to the cage and the way she handled Esparza, and then afterwards, I don't know, man. I think where Johanna is very, very mentally controlled and stable, I think that JoJo is a very emotionally driven fighter, and I think that would be really, I think that would be a bad situation. I think JoJo loses that fight every time.
Yeah, very possible. So now Nick bringing up Tisha Torres. Why do you think she would be a good matchup for Carla?
Who, me thinking that she'll be a good matchup for Carla?
Is that what we said?
No, I think she'll be a good matchup for Jędrzejczyk.
Oh,
I think
sorry.
that's-
J-check, my bad.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be the fight. If she beats Angela Hill, I think they're going to push her to get a title shot because she's a dominant fighter. She's a really good fighter, but I don't see anyone in the women's strawweight division even getting a title shot even after a win. Just looking at the rankings and everything like that, look, we have Jessica Penne, we have Rose, we have Tisha as number 5, Joanne Calderwood, Ronda Marcos, Felice Herring, who's fighting Paige. The only person I see in this whole list getting a title shot is Tisha Torres. Rose already got it. Jessica Penne, I don't think she's not that well known to the fans or to the casual fans to get the title shot, and I think Tisha Torres is Dana White's moneymaker.
Penny's a good fighter though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Penne is a great fighter, but I'm thinking in Dana White's mind of dollar signs and everything. I think Tisha Torres is that one, especially with the up and coming American Top Team versus Black Zillion. She's the American Top Team fighter.
I think Tisha Torres gets crushed in that fight, though. I mean, the problem with that fight with her is her strong suit is grappling and wrestling, and we've kind of seen how that ends with Jędrzejczyk. Jędrzejczyk needs somebody that can punch her back in her nose again to open up a grappling. I think if Jędrzejczyk fights a straight-on grappler and she can focus on that, somebody who's not somewhat of a threat on the feet, she's going to shut their grappling down and just stomp them out. I think that she's got the blueprint for that shit with Carla Esparza. So
I think we should give Angela Magana the shot, but it has to be ultimate submission style. So if she loses, some really nasty S&M shit happens at the end.
Oh, dude, you talking about? Okay, now I know what you're talking about because I was like, what the fuck's he talking about? Now I get it now. Okay, it's gonna be strap-ons being pulled down, a bunch of creepy shit going on. So, all right,
See how easy it is with Ed? All you got to do is give him a little prompting. Just say ultimate submission. He's like, oh, man, I didn't know what you're talking about. And then I remembered yesterday when I spent 7.5 hours on that.
I know all about that shit, baby. Strap-ons, bitches, big oily asses. I know all
you
about
know
it.
what? I'm all about Alexis, Texas, man. Whacker with a big old ass on her. I love that show.
Alexis, Texas.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm not married. I'm still watching porn. It's all good. Anyway.
Yeah.
Fucking all right, we got a few minutes before it gets to midnight for you guys. So, let's let's talk about real quick. What's his name? Alexander Shlemenko testing positive. Seems like we have someone testing positive every fucking week. First of all, does it even matter? No.
Not to me.
Nah, it doesn't. Listen, let's tie it into St. Patty's Day before we go here. It's St. Patrick's Day when we're filming this. A lot of you assholes are going to get DUIs because you just can't not fucking drink and drive. Nick, obviously you made it home, so you were smart enough to keep it in your pants until you got home, at least.
I was at work. I was at work.
Fair enough. A lot of these other assholes. Hold on, I got a point with this too. A lot of these other assholes, they're going to drink and drive. And me and Eddie was talking about before, you get fucked, man, for a DUI. 5-10 grand, your license get taken for a year. If you're an actual human adult who has fucking responsibilities, a DUI can fuck your life up in a major way, man. But yet, tonight, assholes all across America will take that risk to go out and drink shitty green beer. So I think that fucking PEDs are always going to be a problem. These fuckers are always going to take the risk. How don't fucking Gary Goodrich put it on our show? Once you've done all the fucking the trying that you can do, you cheat. Motherfucking, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, Jack. So,
That's
you know, there's no getting around it.
That ain't no
I love
bullshit.
that.
That ain't no bullshit. That's exactly what he said. He's like, how hard are you actually trying to win if you're not willing to cheat? And I was like, that is a very interesting standpoint.
And that's a fucking direct quote. We're not misquoting. That's a fucking direct quote, verbatim, Jack.
And that's from a fucking UFC legend right there. How hard are you trying to win if you're not willing to cheat? And I also, Ed, when you edit this show, can you put a little star, like a little comment going over Fred's head, the more you know? Because that was almost like a fucking public service announcement.
It was too. That's what we were talking about before about laws in different states. Like he was saying, Ohio has like immediate $5,000 fine, a year off. In Arizona, it's 10 grand, and you spend the night in jail, and you fucking lose your license for a year, and a bunch of other shit.
God damn.
See here,
yeah. What's up?
Yeah, here it's a $10,000 fine, lose your license for a year, and then you're on probation after that with a breathalyzer in your car.
Motherfucker.
Yep.
I haven't drank since November 2010, so it don't make a motherfucking difference to me. I don't know the laws here because I don't drink and sit or drink and drive or drink and sleep or drink and nothing.
Yeah, there you go.
I know that's a personal thing, Aaron, but why is that?
Yeah. Get with me after the show. I'll tell you all.
We'll go into depth on it.
Because I know me and Eddie enjoy our nights, but I want to know what you do to enjoy your nights. What do you do? Is it just porn on the laptop, or what's going on?
No, man. I'm 38 years old. I'm a single father of an 11-year-old. But I don't have fun.
That shit's extinct.
All right. With that, we're gonna end the show now. You can follow Nick at Nick X Micro. Nick X. God, that was a weird fucking way to end that shit. All right, and you can follow Fred at Kirby _ MMA and at Gem City Fighting, and Aaron at Stand and the letter N Bang Radio. Right, radio? Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to find out how I spend my nights, fuck you.
All right. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Davey. Shout out to Andrew Reed. And anyone else watching, you guys have a good night.
Later, fellas.